The season from hell continues. Kyrie had been putting together what I think was pretty comfortably an all-NBA season, right? Pretty comfortably putting together an all-NBA season. Connor with the 2. Nico, I'd still better give Kai a max contract. We'll see how that plays out. But that's part of it, what makes this so sad. So Kyrie has been having an all-NBA season. B with the 5. Worse than the Titanic. At least those people got to depart this earth. Jesus. $24 points per game for Kyrie, 47% from the field, 40% from deep, 91% from the free throw line. Just having an outstanding season. And really, whenever you look at it, what he's done since the trade, if we take out last night's game where he only played 9 minutes, 28 points per game, keeping the Mavericks afloat despite all of their injuries, doing everything he can to put this franchise on his back. And unfortunately, that's come to an end. Now, what makes this even sadder? Kyrie shoots the free throw. Incredible. Kyrie is about to turn 33 years old here in just a little under 3 weeks. Happy early birthday. A little under 3 weeks, he'll be turning 33 years old. He does have a player option next year. That's interesting. $43 million player option next season. Jake with the $4.99, 1/2. This is the only third time in NBA history a team has gone from NBA Finals to missing the playoffs. That's good. That's good. Defense wins championships. I'm just banning these guys. Honestly. Just banning them. Just banning him. Jake with the $9.99. Jordan's last dance team was one. He retired and team was blown up. 1969. Celtics were the other when Bill Russell and Sam Jones retired. Never before has it happened by mismanagement. That's actually kind of crazy to think about. Don't be salty. Cry laughing emoji. You're getting banned. Blue Tortoise with the $4.99. This is stepping on a Lego barefoot, getting a splinter in your finger and a shotgun blast to the chest all the span of a month. Paul with the 2. Don't baby. I'm sorry about the smoothie joke. No, you're good. You're good, Paul. You've got carte blanche to say whatever you want in here. $43 million player option in 25-26. Genuine possibility he picks that up. Right? Genuine possibility. Prying with the $4.99. Thanks for streaming. This news is soul crushing. All I can think is if he hadn't played so many minutes, he'll be the biggest what if of my life. Yeah. So that's part of the problem here. Cato tweeted this out earlier. Over the last 6 weeks, really since Kyrie came back from his back injury, he's led the league in minutes per game. 38 minutes per game as a 32, soon to be 33-year-old who we already know is dealing with a back injury. We already know is dealing with a lower back injury. With a bulging disc in his back, and they'd still played him the most minutes in the league. And unfortunately, he tore his ACL. Now, I do want to say this, right? The injury was kind of a freak one. He bumped in with his right knee. He bumped into Jonas Valanciunas, and that sort of threw off his landing, which led to his knee buckling whenever he landed. So I'm not sure that I can really attribute this specific injury to just being overworked, to be honest with you. It was kind of a freaky thing. Now, with that being said, no, that wasn't nowhere near a dirty play, guys. It was just a very unfortunate injury. So I don't know if I can go that route. However, you were opening yourself up to the worst possible scenario by playing Kyrie so many minutes. So many minutes. I've seen karma and stuff like that. Man, shut the fuck up, please. Like, seriously. Please. What did Kyrie do to deserve this? No real karma there. I'm going to get to donations here at the end. I want to go through this. So, again, Kyrie, I thought was having an All-NBA season, was playing incredible basketball, was sort of the beacon of hope for this team. Now, 8 to 12 months is typically what you can expect for an ACL recovery. Eight to 12 months. Now, if you're going to go the optimistic route and say 8, that puts you November, December, right? So almost certainly will not be ready for the start of next season. If you're to go the worst case scenario route, you're looking at post All-Star break next year as a potential return for Kyrie Irving. So now you're funny how anti-Semitism is allowed here, but Nico hate is not. Where is anti-Semitism allowed in this chat, in this community? What? Dude, Nico hate is every other chat in here, bro. What are you talking about? I banned the people who are laughing at it. If someone said something bad, I did not see it. So, anyways, 33 years old, about to enter free agency, maybe. There's definitely a chance he picks up that player option. And now the Mavericks, who made the Luka trade that was completely and totally inexplicable at the time. I mean, it's over now. It really is over now. Because, look, this is my initial reaction, and I really hope I'm wrong. Kyrie is incredibly resilient, always going to be an incredibly skillful player. An older, smaller guard that absolutely relies on his athleticism and his, quick twitch movement and stuff like that. This one hurts. This one hurts. I hope he can return to the form that we've seen, but it's not. We're probably just the way ACL injuries go and what we've seen recovery time for it be. Even if best case scenario, Kyrie's back around Christmas next year, we've seen it takes usually about another whole year for a guy to really recover from that, right? I mean, Jamal Murray it's like this weird thing where sometimes he looks good physically, sometimes he doesn't, and he's way younger. So now, Joel with the $5. You think this Kyrie injury will affect them going after KD? So now let's look at it from a team building perspective. Your hopes and dreams for the next year and maybe the next 2 or 3 years were Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, those two, maybe whoever else we go and get at the trade deadline, right? Or in trades, whatever the case may be. So that's ripped away pretty much. Like you realistically can't view Kyrie Irving as like a centerpiece anymore. You just can't. You seemed a little more optimistic last night at Locked On Mavs. Is that because you weren't expecting such a bad injury outcome? You pushed back on Nick's tank thinking. Well, I pushed back on it. I pushed back on it from a franchise's perspective. I'm on board Team Tank. I'm saying I don't know if the franchise would view it that way, if that makes sense. And admittedly, last night, I did not think it was going to be a torn ACL. They said sprain at first. They always say sprain. Like they don't know until they really test it. They can get a good idea of it, from what I understand. Like they can do sort of touch tests on your knee, reaction tests. I don't know what they would call that. They can do reaction tests and sort of figure out, okay, it's probably a torn ACL. But they don't know for sure. Pretty sure Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco knew and they reacted to it last night. There wasn't any reporting. The smile to frown scale, yeah, it's a 10 on the pain threshold. Will he ever be the same? I hope so. I will say the type of injury, the age, the style in which Kyrie plays. It would be pretty miraculous if he comes back the same. It would be a miraculous story. KD did it. Yeah, and KD's is a miraculous story of recovery. So I guess there's a world, right? One thing from what everything we know about Kyrie and what we've seen from Kyrie, and especially in his time with the Mavs, he's going to work his ass off to come back. And he's going to put it all out on the line. We know that for sure. So we'll see. But this season's obviously done. It was already trending that direction for real, but it's now done. And next year's probably done as well. So now all of a sudden, you're looking at, let's just say they bring back Kyrie, give him a contract in the summer. Now all of a sudden you're looking at a 34-year-old Kyrie Irving and a 34-year-old Kyrie Irving coming off of an ACL injury, and a 34-year-old Anthony Davis. Are like that's how you're going to win? Next year's not done, man. He'll be back for the playoffs. I'm going to say next year's probably done from a championship competing stance. From a championship competitive stance. You're talking about reintegrating Kyrie. And by the way, this will still be the case if Kyrie Irving comes back in January or February next year. We have seen 3/4 of Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis together. 3. That will still be true come January, February, March, whenever Kyrie Irving returns next year. I don't even think 12 months is a worst case scenario. It could be longer. Now, am I wrong? I feel like with today's medicine and stuff, we don't see super super long recoveries from ACL. And am I wrong? What was the last time we've seen like a bad ACL recovery? Kawhi was 15 plus months. I don't think Kawhi is. Clay, yeah, Clay's different because Clay tore his Achilles. Yeah, an ACL injury as like a 23, 24-year-old isn't the end of the world, but for a 33-year-old, it's pretty tough. Clay tore his ACL and then was going to come back the next season and then tore his Achilles in the ramp up. That's what happened. Jamal's was tough. What was the story there? No, it is 12-month worst case scenario, but the likelihood of him getting at what he was is none. And all that back were lesser versions of themselves. KD, who is still amazing. I mean, if you just think about the curve, right? The Kyrie Irving sort of the aging curve for a young or a smaller guard, right? 33, 34, 35. That's when it goes down anyways, right? So, and if you want to compete at a championship level, you have to get Kyrie Irving at an All-NBA level. Like, it can't just be Kyrie's still a top 50 player and he's still playing well. That's great, and I'm sure he'll come back to that. He's too skilled, he's too talented, he's too smart as a basketball player. But do you think the Mavs could tear everything apart? I mean, they can't, man. They don't own their draft picks. He could still be a contributing starter into his late 30s. A lot of small guards do. Yeah, I have no doubt in my mind that Kyrie can still be a positive basketball player very late into his career. He's just smart. He's so skilled. He's such a good shooter. I mean, that'll stay, right? But again, the Mavericks, to win, need more than that. I wouldn't be surprised if Nico traded him in the summer. I would be. I would be pretty shocked. I'd be pretty shocked. Chris Paul career trajectory. Different types of players. Odds of Clay asking out, not low. What would be the biggest fallout from all this? Kyrie leaving in free agency, Nico being fired in December, and the Mavericks forced to trade AD at the deadline next year to recoup assets. Dude, at this point in time, I don't know. I don't know if I could say what the worst case scenario is. I don't know. I do not know. I don't even want to say. Somebody asked earlier if you were to go back in time, beginning of the season, say, all right, what's a worst case scenario season? I mean, it doesn't even look half as bad as this. It doesn't even look half as bad. I think, honestly, if you were to say worst case scenario before the season, Luka gets hurt, Kyrie gets hurt, like, it would be injuries. And then if you were to go outside of injuries, maybe you would say, oh, Kyrie demands a trade or something crazy. Like, there's in no world In no world would you think this. Like, in no world. Like, you could say worst case scenario, what is it? And then somebody said this, and you'd be like, all right, dude, fucking get serious. Is this the worst season any fan base in NBA has ever had? I honestly, God, think so. And stay tuned. We're going to get to this here in a second. So, I don't know. And to answer the question about does this change if maybe they'll be aggressive with Kevin Durant? I can see this going two ways. Way number one, which I think is likely, is they try to be as optimistic as possible. And they say, all right, well, Kyrie could be back around Christmas, maybe January. We just, AD be healthy to start the season. We can win games with just AD. We'll need to make moves in the summer, but we can win games with just AD. And then Kyrie comes back. Maybe we make moves at the deadline. And, we'll be ready to go for next year's playoffs. Like, it's not the end of the world there. That's way number one. Way number two, and don't sleep on this, is the most aggressive front office in the NBA, or at least top two, if you want to put the Suns at number one. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to go number one. The most aggressive front office in the NBA says, okay, well, Kyrie, we know he's going to come back at some point, but we can't rely on him. We have AD. He's getting older. We got to go and win now. Like now we're definitely going for KD. Like we were maybe, if the price was right, going to go for it, but now we're definitely going for it because we have to. Do not sleep on that possibility. So I would say this might actually increase the likelihood. Honestly, this might increase the likelihood. Who's going to be our point guard to start next year, though? I have no idea. I have no clue. Who would you even trade for KD, though? Oh, they'd have to gut. The Suns don't want anything you have. So it would depend on what the Suns want. Let's start here. KD's market's not going to be robust. It's just not. It's already been reported in the last few days that the Suns are going to work with KD to go where he wants to go. KD's going to want to go somewhere that's going to want to pay him. The list of teams, it's so windy outside. The list of teams that are just going to be lining up to give a 35, 36-year-old a huge amount of money, it's not very big, right? Dallas definitely desperate enough to be like, yeah, we don't give a fuck. We'll pay him. Mavs have like 0 picks. No, they got 3 picks. I'm telling you right now, I do not think KD's return is going to be a lot. It's not going to be anywhere. It's not even going to be a fraction of what they gave up for him. It will not even be a fraction. He's 37 this year, brother. Jesus Christ. You aren't even contenders with KD, LOL, smiling, laughing emoji. I mean, what like, people are asking me what I think is going to happen. I don't like the laughing emojis. We're sitting here talking about a guy tearing his ACL. It's just strange to me. And so, anyways, if the Suns' logic is, hey, we still want to be good. We still want to be good. We want to build around D-Book. PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, maybe Najee Marshall. I don't know what else. Like, those are all solid rotation players that plug in right away. Maybe a pick or two. It's really not a bad return. Can't imagine trolling in this situation. You are demented. I don't mind trolling in this situation. Somebody replied to one of my tweets and said, bro, just keep the faith. There's still a chance with Christie and Caleb Martin. And I thought that was funny, honest to God. I thought that was funny. Doing like the laughing stuff, like that's just strange, man. That's just weird. For real. Do you now think about just trading AD straight away? Brother, there's not a chance in hell they trade AD. Like, there's not a chance in hell, man. Do you draw a hard line to Lively being involved in KD trade? I absolutely would. I absolutely would. I don't know if they would. Prosper, Christie, and Kai Jones? Yeah, we're good. Can you imagine them around the locker room right now? I honestly can't. I don't know what you say. I like, even beyond the trade, I don't know with all the injuries. I don't know what you say. I think as like a fan, as like a player, I think you look around and you're just like, damn, bro. Like, am I net? I'm like scared to step on the court. I mean, we haven't even talked any news about Hardy. I was just about to say, Hardy, it just came out earlier. Hardy's going to miss an extended period of time with an ankle injury. I don't even know who's on the team. Like, we're gonna reach points. PJ's out with an ankle injury. Kyrie's out for the season now. AD's out. Gafford's out. Lively's out. Caleb Martin's still out. Hardy's now out. There might be times when guys might be dealing with some lingering stuff and have to miss a game where you might be struggling to put a roster on the court. Is it enough to trigger a disaster draft? Maybe. How much does the number one pick change this next season? Oh, significantly. I mean, even a top 5 pick. So let me just say, if I were the GM of this team, if Nico Harrison got fired tomorrow, or if said, all right, guys, I don't know, I was just kind of fucking around. I didn't think this was that serious. I'm going to go back to working for Nike or whatever. I didn't realize it was serious like this. My bad. Gets fired and I get hired. What's my next course of action? I'm shutting the season down. I'm going to AD and I'm saying, hey, look, whatever surgery you think you might need, get it. Any player who's dealing with some lingering injury, hey, do you need surgery? You might get it. Let's just knock it out. Let's get it. I'm shutting anybody with injuries down. Lively's not playing again this season. Gafford's not playing again this season. We are bottoming the fuck out. Max Christie, you're getting about 15 to 20 on-ball reps a game as a pick and roll ball handler. We don't give a shit what the numbers look like. You're just doing it. Okay? Get used to it. I mean, we're trying not to win another game this season. I'm going to Clay and I'm saying, hey, what do you want to do, man? I'm sorry. What do you want to do? You want to play still? All right. You want to protect yourself? All right. And then in the summer, whatever you want to do, come to us and we'll help you out. You want to stay here? Great. Can the Mavs still get a top 5 pick? I mean, at this point in time, they'd have to have lottery luck. I don't think they can get into the bottom 5. I think even if they lose every single game between now and the end of the season, which, hey, is it impossible? Say Mavs miss postseason and hit the jackpot and jump to number 2 in the lottery, combined with OKC flaming out and we're quietly shopping J-Dub. Would you send pick 2, Clay and Najee for J-Dub? Wow. I honest to God, haven't done enough draft research to know what the number 2 guy looks like. Dylan Harper's too good. So right now, the Mavs are... I mean, there's no way, bro. The Mavs are 12 and a half games better than the number 5, the 5th worst team, the Toronto Raptors. They're not getting into the top 5 organically. Now, they could get into the top 10. I would say that's probably what you're looking for now. You're 4 games ahead of the Trailblazers. Like Portland passing you, Atlanta passing you, Phoenix passing you. All possible. And depending on how much you bottom out, there's definitely a world where San Antonio could pass you. There's only 20 games left is the problem. And I don't think you guys realize, like, 6 games, 5 games, that's a lot of ground to make up in 20 games. It is. Keep in mind, this is a franchise that has never moved up in the draft lottery. Ever. One of like 3, I think. One of 3 or 4 franchises to have never once moved up in the draft lottery. I mean, look how many clicks, guys. Look at how many clicks. Hey! Oh, shut it down! So, yeah. We have to just trade for Durant in the summer. Kyrie isn't going to be back until after the All-Star break. At best, we're fucked long-term. We got to commit to being old and just pray. So if I were the GM, I'm going to be real with you guys. That's probably the route I take. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm calling Phoenix. If I feel like I can get, and maybe the market for KD is so bad. Maybe the market for KD is so bad that you can get there. You can get there without attaching a ton of picks. Yeah, the Mavs are due some lottery luck. That much is certain. Isn't losing on purpose illegal? If purposely tanking is an option, will they be in trouble? Dog, let me tell you something right now. Is that they're going to lose organically. Like there's not going to be some shady like, oh, they're going to lose. Right? I get what you're saying. If Kyrie were healthy and they were just to shut him down, yeah, that would be weird. But with how injured they are, wasn't it lottery luck when they didn't lose the 10th pick in 2023? No, they just stayed. They didn't drop in the lottery. 3 giant contracts rarely works out. No, I know it rarely works out. I'm just saying you're the position that you have found yourself in is dire if you're taking over this team as a front office, as a GM. Cooper Flag can't save this mess. No, I actually disagree with that. Can you imagine Cooper Flag next to Anthony Davis? That's fucking nasty. What if Kyrie just doesn't come back, like retires? That would be very surprising. Why must it be KD trading away picks in a depth for a 37-year-old scorer is not how you contend? Well, I'm just looking at the trade landscape in the summer. I mean, I haven't like fully sat down and thought about who all could be available. You know, like I haven't really thought too much about it. And also, here's another thing to think about, right? The Mavs like don't have a ton of trade assets. So let's just say, hey, the Bucks flame out. And you know what? Giannis just went to management and said, I want out. I don't think the Mavericks have what it takes to really be in the mix there, right? So that's out of the equation. I'm trying to think of other potential star level players who could ask out. Let's say the Grizzlies look at their situation and say, man, we're going to be really expensive. And like, we're going to be really expensive and we're just not like in love with our team. And we're just like tired of not being able to rely on Ja Morant. So he's on the table. You're not going to have the pieces. They're not going to trade Maxey. LaMelo. Oh my God. And I like LaMelo, but at that point, I would rather trade for KD. Absolutely. I'm being honest with you. I'm being honest. I'd rather trade for KD. We need slightly GM to see how you'd fix this mess. That might not be a terrible idea. Melo's not an eco guy either. Trae Young, that would be hilarious. That would be so funny. Bring back 2K my GM. Maybe actually. The true dark seasons are to come, dudes. I'm sorry to say. Oh, it's the future's bleak. I mean, this season is like, this season is the worst it'll probably feel because of all the things that have happened. But yeah, there's going to be worse seasons ahead, record-wise. That much is certain. How about Booker? Booker's another interesting one. Could absolutely see him getting traded. The problem is, again, I don't think you have the trade assets. Would you trade Flag and Cat Filler for Paolo? No, I would not. Is that crazy to say? That's a good question. I was saying, I think I heard somebody on a podcast talking about that. What would you guys do in that situation? I love the Magic and I love Paolo. But 4 years of Cooper Flag on a rookie deal versus I'm like 1 year away from paying Paolo $30-40 million a year. Dude, this wind is crazy. So, anyways, man, what a gut punch this is, man. Kyrie's just done everything right. He's done everything right. Luka with his message, you will come back stronger, mi hermano. Womp, womp, womp. Shot the free throws on a torn ACL. What a legendary picture this is. What a legendary picture. What a shame, man. Didn't deserve this. Absolutely not. He made both free throws too.